G'day guys. Okay, so this is just a quick product review. I purchased the Watercolour paper pad from Aldi the other night. It's A3, it's 300, I think it was 300 GSM, comes with 12 sheets, acid free, blah blah blah. And then I grabbed the Creative Place, which is the Aldi brand as well, Artist Collection watercolor pencils. I wanted to see how pigmented they were because not everybody can afford the most expensive brand of everything, and I try to have, of course I love the high-end stuff, and I do intend on purchasing the Distress watercolors, the new ones that are out, the woodless ones. I'm planning, hopefully I'll have them by Christmas. So depends when they come in with Cass and Jacques. When they come in, I will be getting them. However, in the meantime, I do have the what's the brand? I think it's Faber-Castell, the brand that I have had for ages, and yeah, Faber-Castell. So I have those ones, and they are Creative Studio. They're great. They give me exactly what I want. However, I wanted to check out and see what the Aldi brand was like, because if you've been around here for a little bit, sorry, my camera is going in and out a bit there. I have purchased the Aldi brand. They had a watercolor set, and it is so pigmented. You need like nearly none for watercolor. It is so good. So I got that one, and there was one other thing. So I got the paint set. Oh, that's right. I got the watercolor ink markers. Both of those products were fantastic. I have used them actually quite a lot, and they're not going to waste whatsoever. They were dirt cheap. This watercolor set cost me $9.99 Australian. So for $10 for 36 watercolors, I could not resist, because I think that's in most people's budget, as long as, so in a scrapbooking sense, as long as you are able to use them in a couple of different ways, I think it's a bargain. I think a product that you can only use one way, I think that is, it's an investment that I would second guess, because it's not necessarily something, if you can hear something really odd, it sounds like it's pouring rain or something. It's actually not. It's my husband on the roof. He's cleaning our solar panels, and he was either going to do it, to clean your solar panels, you either have to do it first thing in the morning before the sun gets too warm, or last thing in the evening after the sun's almost gone down. And we have cloud cover today, and it's supposed to rain and or storm, so he's on the roof at 7 a.m. So what I'm doing is all I'm doing here is, you probably saw at the beginning there, when I opened the tin, I nearly had a coronary. They were not in rainbow order whatsoever. So I had to fix that. Once I fixed that, then I went through, and now I'm just scratching down some color onto the watercolor pad, because I wanted to see how not all watercolor paper is created equal. Let's word it like that. So I wanted to see what the payoff would be and how much water I could really put into this paper. Happy to announce, it's a lot. I actually put some on a piece without any color on it, and I just kept using my eyedropper and my pipette, and I just kept dropping water onto it, and it just kept going and going and going. This paper pad, if you're in the market for some watercolor paper, let me tell you, $3.99. It's only 12 sheets, but they're A3. So if in a scrapbooking sense, if you're going to maybe do some watercoloring on it, and you're going to maybe run it through your die cut machine, or you could put it through your Cricut, you could do any of those things with it. You could tear it, you could use your decorative scissors on it, you could, what else could you do with it? I mean, the list is so long. I actually bought this week, believe it or not, I bought some quilling tools. Never done quilling in my life, but my hands have gotten, they've been playing up a little bit lately. So I thought if I got a quilling tool, I could roll my paper a little bit tighter so it's not so bulky in my albums. So I grabbed those. They were only $7.99 on Amazon. And I think there is, how many's in here? 5. You have 5 different tools in there. So I'm going to try and use those in the next week on a layout. And when I say in the next week, it depends when you're watching this. This is going up today, which is the... Oh, I can't even see the calendar. Give me a look at the calendar. Gee whiz. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. Okay, I'm nearly done putting the colour down. And because there's 36 colours and I wanted to test all the colours. So today's Sunday the 20th of November 2022. If you're watching recently, if you're going back through videos, there you go. So just, yeah. I don't know. I always say it like it's that you're watching it tomorrow. And I realise that down the track, that may not be the case. Okay, so I'm using my watercolour brush. Not because it's my favourite brush to use. It's not. I absolutely, to be honest, I don't do much with it at all. But instead of dabbing into water and coming across the screen 15 times, I thought I'd do it like this. Now, already I can see that these are... Now, I didn't put a lot of colour down. This is just a scribble. Like, it's not... And it's very light. You can see the grain through it when I've drawn on it. But I can tell you automatically, like straight up, these have got some crazy pigment to them. Some obviously more than others, because some are supposed to be... So the what one was that? The peach. Hang on, I can't really see it properly. I will adjust my screen. Okay, so the warm peach is meant to be a lighter colour. So it's something that you'd probably do a wash with and then do the colour on top. Rose is also the same. So as much as they don't look as pigmented, they are more of a wash colour. Those 2 colours there that I just pointed to looked almost exactly the same. They did dry slightly differently. So if you want to have a look at what they look like totally dry, just have a look over on the Facebook group. It'll be listed below. And just click the link and you can have a look at the photos over there, because I like to take photos up close, because let's be honest, we want to see as close to real life as we can get. So that brown I thought was probably more in the orange category than a brown category. That's to my eye. Okay, that's not necessarily fact, like it's, you know, but see the tan and the dark brown and the russet brown and the coffee, to me they're really good browns. But that other brown, it seemed to sort of lend itself more to the oranges than it did to the browns. Just saying, that was just my observation. And the black, believe it or not, had really good pigmentation. So the garnet red I thought was more of, I moved it over because of the colour on the end of the pen, on the end of the pencil. I moved it over to the plum purple sort of colours. But it also sort of, I could see it working really well with the red and the dark red. So all I'm doing here is just grabbing a few colours that I think might, when they're scratched down, like you can see, I'm putting no pressure on this. There is no pressure. These are really soft as well. That's something that I've noticed as I was doing this. It was very, excuse my fingernail polish, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to deal with a fingernail that has split from the top to the bottom, like vertically rather than horizontally on my nail. I love medications for rheumatoid arthritis. It's fantastic. Does wonders for your nails and hair, let me tell you. Not. Okay, so I'm just sort of giving you, you can tell obviously I'm doing a bit of a rainbow, something rainbow-esque-y looking. And then I just grab one of my Montmartre watercolour brushes. Now this is what I would prefer to use when I'm adding water to colours. See how it gives you a much smoother finish rather than, that's the difference between using watercolour brushes and acrylic brushes as well. Watercolour brushes, they hold the water in the bristles and they give you much more of a flex in the brush. So if you're in the market for some brushes, you want to give this a try. My suggestion is, if you can pick up, if you're an Aussie, go to Montmartre and grab the watercolour brushes. I think they're slightly dearer than the acrylic ones, but you will get a much happier result. I think they're about I've picked them up for 8, and I've also picked them up for about 14, 15. So just sort of hunt around a little bit, and there's probably going to be sales in the next few weeks. So if you're in the hunt for it, but I wanted to get this video up because this particular watercolor pencil set is in Aldi stores this week. So I picked it up on Friday night, so it's there. Now I wanted to see how these would all blend and mush up together. So I just grabbed 2 colors, and look at that. I just sprayed it with my mister. So my misting, it's actually a hair misting tool bottle, and I use it in my craft room. Check that out. That is really, really good payoff. Then I thought about something that I saw with a Tim Holtz video the other day. It wasn't Tim that did it. It was another lady. She was doing a review of this is me. I wanted to see all that water to see if it had come through, and it hasn't. That was a lot of water that I sprayed on there, believe me. Now, I wanted to do something to show you. I watched a lady the other day, and okay, so this is something I do with, sorry, I was skipping then. This is how I like to use my watercolor pencils sometimes. You just tap the end of the pencil and just wet the pencil. You can flick on it, so see, you can get splatters with it. So if you're someone that doesn't have a lot of mixed media and you want something that you'll be able to use in a few different ways, 1, you can use watercolor. 1, you can use it as a coloring in pencil. 2, you can add water to the tip of the pencil and not actually ever put the pencil to paper. And you can smush it around. You can flick your brush across the end of the pencil. It will give you really pigmented splatters. And this one is something that I would probably more inclined to do with the woodless pencil. So take the wood away and just put the pigment on the page and see what happens. So what I wanted to do was see if I could get this to just dissolve in the water and give me a really highly pigmented result. I think it's pretty safe to say, guys, that's awesome. You can also do your smushing technique, which we use all the time with our inks, and check it out. It's awesome. So if you need to get your hands on some pigment to get into your scrapbooking, these are hands down, I recommend them big time. They are so good. $9.99 in Aldi at the moment. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I will chat to you later. Here's a quick close-up. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks heaps for watching, guys. Bye.